Tragedy strikes a Montgomery County neighborhood. Police say 2 children were found dead. 3 others, including 2 other children, are severely injured inside a Germantown home. Tonight, investigators say they have far more questions than answers. WJZ is live. Christy Aletto has more on the information that was just released by police. Christy?
Well, Mary, we've just learned that 2 women are now persons of interest. One of those women is the mother of all 4 of those children. A tragic and what police are calling bloody scene on the 19,000 block of Cherry Bin Drive in Germantown Friday.
There was some type of assault that occurred.
Montgomery County police say 2 children are discovered dead upstairs, 2 others and 1 adult injured. Detectives say the deaths are suspicious and are being investigated as murders.
The family just moved here a couple months ago, right?
Residents take in the horror from the sidewalks.
The ones that are deceased, they were always outside playing, never really saw anything's wrong with the family.
Timothy Darden says he never suspected anything.
She was, just like a young 20-year-old with kids, single mother. She seemed happy, like I say, to move into the neighborhood.
Police say Friday morning was not the first time they had come to this residence. In fact, they had been here Thursday night.
We got a call here last night from a neighbor who saw an unattended child in the vehicle.
But when officers arrived, the child was back in the home, and police say no one ever came to the door. But neighbors tell police there was commotion coming from the home overnight.
Loud enough so that the neighbors could hear some kind of disturbance at the home.
Shocked, but devastated at the same time, especially when you didn't hear anything and then you see all this.
While neighbors try to make sense of this horrific scene, police are trying to piece together what may have sparked this gruesome act of violence. And police now have 2 women as persons of interest. One of them is the mother of all 4 of those children, and police say they believe all 4 of those children were under the age of 10. Mary, back to you.
So sad, Christy. Thank you. The 2 injured children are being treated at Children's Hospital in Northwest Washington.
Yo, what up, world? It is yo nigga Philochko, a.k.a. Philco, a.k.a. Phil. Whatever you want to call me. Have a lot of names. And in this video, of course, I'm going to speak a little bit about the clip we just saw, but I really want to focus more on something that popped in my head as I was watching that clip. What does it take to separate a child from a bad mother? Because it's so hard to get the child taken away from a bad mother, but it's so easy to separate a good father, or just a father in general, from the child. Do women have an advantage to a point where it's dangerous for our community and for our children? So for example, I made another video on this channel in which a man he's getting arrested for overpaying his child support and overseeing his child. Will that ever happen to a woman? No, I don't think so. Do women unfairly have the upper hand because I guess motherhood is seen as more important than fatherhood? Whatever it is, they unfairly have the upper hand. Now in this clip, you heard that wasn't the first time police or whatever have visited them, because prior to this, the child was left unattended in a car or something, but when they came back later, the child was going from the car and he was with the mother or whatnot. But imagine if that was the father, if the father was in charge, or it was a single father, he left the child in a car unattended. What do you think would have happened to that man? It's just so much easier for a woman, with our system, it's so much easier for a woman to be a bad mother and get away with it than be a bad father and get away with it. Bad motherhood is like, it's not paid. We don't pay enough attention to that in the black community with bad motherhood. We really, really don't. It's like it's taboo if you ever say something bad about your mother, even if the shit is accurate, it makes sense, and it's perfectly logical. You're just not really supposed to say it. But on the other hand, if you have a fucked up father and he does some fucked up shit and you talk about it, it's normal. It's like, yeah, that nigga ain't shit, whatever. It's normal. But why is the system like this, or why are we as a people like this? Why do the women have the upper hand and the men are kind of just not a necessity? And I hate the fact that our communities, well, what's ironic to me is that a lot of people in the black community would complain about 2 gay parents raising a child, but say it's absolutely fine for a woman to do it on her own because she don't need no man. I'd rather a child have two gay parents than just one mom. Two parents, having two parents means a lot to a child. Now, right now I'm not speaking about gay parents, I'm talking about regular parents, but I'm sure, I guess regular parents are fine, two gay parents are fine, I guess, I don't know. But right now I'm speaking about having a mom and dad. It means a lot. Whether the mother's out working a lot and the father's in the house taking care of the child, whatever it is, having two parents is much better than one parent. Especially when it comes to like putting your brains together and deciding what's best for the child. You know, one person could spend this weekend with the child and the other parent could go have a vacation. One weekend, the other parent, they switch and all this stuff. And also the child has two different mentalities to speak to. It's much better with two parents, especially when they're in love. Especially when they're in love. Especially. It means a lot having two parents. Now, when it comes to the man and the woman role, you know, the woman, how it should be, is that, you know, the woman is the kind one. She's not really the one who disciplines much unless she has to. She's usually the one who gives the sweet, tender, loving care. You know, give your mommy a hug if you're crying, you know, pet the hair. And the father's more of the strong, no, don't cry, provider, little more, of course, not a little more, but much more masculine. And he's the one who disciplines. Like I said in another video, the most biggest threat you could give to your child as a mother should be, I'm going to tell your father, or wait until I tell your father. That's his job. He's a discipliner. That's what he should do. No mother should have to act tough and all this shit. It's good to have two parents in the home. I don't know. I'm not a parent myself, so I'm not trying to say I'm an expert. If I'm wrong, let me know. But I'm saying having two parents is better. And this system is kind of... I don't like blaming the system. I blame us first. We are to blame first. The system after. Because no one pulled that man away from the children. It's either you picked a bad guy, he left, he was a bad guy and you didn't know when he left, or you and the system got that guy away from you. Or you wanted him away from you so you could get some money from the system. So we are to blame first. But the system definitely makes it easier to not have a man in the house for the woman and the child. And that's not good. Like, I don't know if you guys saw Precious. Precious, that was a good movie. Now, I'm not talking about the incest though. No, we didn't need all that. But like how they were pretending and stuff, acting like a nice family when the child services people came by, you know, she put on her good wig and all that stuff. That stuff is very fucking common. Very common. A lot of things mothers do, especially when they don't have a man, like claiming children that aren't theirs so they can get some tax money. A lot of this shit is bullshit, and as a people, we really need to cut it out. The first step we need to do is establish strong homes. Mother, father. That's number one. If you're gay, father, father, or mother, mother, just whatever. Two parents in a house, it means a lot. It means a lot. One sweet, one tough. It's just a basic, alright? This is what I've seen from the average person who I know that's successful. They've had mothers and fathers. Out of my successful friends, the ones who are the most successful, whether it's they did like a good amount of years in the army and they're very smart and, you know, they have families, they have good brains on their head, whatever. These people, brains in their head, these people usually had a mother and a father. Now, usually my friends, I don't mean to diss anyone, but the ones who usually don't have mothers and fathers, they're not fucking up. They usually don't graduate. They usually don't really get jobs that they want to have. They're just they're working to survive and not like pursuing a career or something. And this is how it usually is. Having those two parents mean a lot. It means a lot. So let's try as a community to, as females, pick good men. Men that you really believe will stay. And don't adopt that I don't need no man mentality. That's just ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Of course you don't need no man. When you're raising a child, it's important to understand the odds. It's important to understand that the odds of him succeeding and being a good person in the fucking world when he starts interacting with other people, odds are much higher when he's raised by a positive, intelligent, logical couple rather than just one parent, period. So let's try to adopt that mentality. Two parents, that would be great. That's really all I got to say for this. I'm out, man. We got to do something. Later.